All right, and talking about the rain and the fact that we have seen quite a few washouts throughout the summer season. We've got some going on right now in Charles City. This is a live look over the city itself, and it's dark because a severe warned storm is currently going over as we speak. Brings a threat for some hail. Hail the size of a quarter, like what we saw earlier in Osage. A viewer sent this in to us earlier on. This particular storm that dropped the quarter-sized hail in Osage is the same one that's still severe as it's moving over Charles City and portions of Floyd County. We can see it right here on satellite and radar. Not a lot at all really going on north of the border, although we're seeing a little bit of activity pulse up further to the north. That's really the main threat that we see there, but further to the south, well, that's where we're seeing the action currently. So zooming into that severe warned storm I was all telling you about earlier on in the newscast, it is still active until 6:30, so all the way into the end of this newscast for Chickasaw and Floyd County. So this has been extended a little further off to the east to include portions of Chickasaw County. Charles City is included in there as well. We can see it clear as day as the rain continues to move over. Something I took off is the lightning. There's a lot of lightning to go along with it as well, but the main threat is still the fact that we could see quarter-sized hail, and it has been observed from this storm. That is why it is severe warned. Meanwhile, a little further off to the west, and there's still plenty of activity as well. I'm going to point out this area right here. This is a loop of only an hour, but if I went back 2 hours, maybe even 2.5, we would see that this is pretty stationary. It has not moved much going to the east or really even going further to the north or the south. That's what's bringing this hail threat to the area currently. Now, I also wanted to show high temperatures because I didn't want you to think that I was crazy. Some of us did make it to the 90s today. Austin, Albert Lea, both hitting 90 degrees for our high temps, that dark red color back on the map. Things have, of course, changed as the clouds have moved over, not to mention all the rain. And now Mason City, sitting quite cool, 67 degrees currently. We're even seeing some green showing up on the map. Meanwhile, it remains warm further to the north. Owatonna still in the 80s, same with Zumbrota, as well as Lake City. Rochester dropping to 79 without that sunshine. That's what happens. Moving over to Futurecast, zooming things out because it's doing not the greatest job of picking up the activity that we are seeing now, but it does show as the clouds continue to make their way further on to the north and just spreading across the area. The sun has set, that the chances for any of these storms really pulsing back up continues to dwindle. So be watching that. Not to mention all the activity that's still yet to come over the next 7 days. Those temperatures, they may be dropping, but the chances for storms keep on rising. We'll be keeping an eye on that, of course, and we will be right back with more news and weather.